Hello, how are you today? Do you want to dive into a book that might just surprise you, whether it becomes your next favorite or one you might skip? Let's find out what readers are saying about it.
Christy read Between the Wines, who has 71 likes, says, "When I tell you this book is everything I wanted, it has the crazy murdery plot like BB and the romance, character development of LL, mixed with humor, spice and family. Rose is hilarious in her quest to do right by women who have been hurt. She just can't seem to get murder done easily. And Fionn is always there to help her, no matter the consequences. Their friendship, to lovers, was such a breath of fresh air. It felt realistic, yet hopeful. The pining, the yearning, and the end OMFG. This is a story about loving the dark part of you and letting the person you love the most see the darkness, and them loving you because of it. Obsessed 5/5 no notes. Thank you for the early copy BW and Zondo." Ashley, who has 141 likes, says, "The more I sit and think about this book, I have to update my review because I am actually quite disappointed, and I think I just forced myself to think this was better than it was. I will say, audio was perfection. Rose and Fionn had me freaking cackling and swooning. But the story, this was my least favorite of the three by far, and now that it's a solid 2 weeks since I've finished, I can honestly say, I don't really remember anything. Dark rom-com friends with benefits, fish out of water, forced proximity, hurt, care, touch her and die. Literally." Heather's semi-hiatus, who has 322 likes, says, 2.5 stars IDK. "I thought this one was better than book 2. I do still think my interest in this series waned as I continued with it. These two just don't compare to the appeal the first one had. It's fun in a totally unserious way, but I'll forget about it in no time. The romance in this one moves even faster, if that's even possible. Very insta everything. Forced proximity, small town friends with benefits, touch her and die, vigilante justice, Dr. X circus performer, dark rom-com, serial killers, connect with me on Instagram." Emma Skies, who has 178 likes, says, "I think my final consensus on this series is that you should totally read the first book and then maybe just stop there. A low 3 stars for this installment, and easily the lowest in the series. This was fine-ish, I guess. There's really not much to it. It doesn't hit the killer vibes of the previous 2 books at all. She's actually really bad at it in ways that genuinely ruin the MMC's life. And my god, this book just would not end. The 75% mark should have been the ending. In my opinion, it's neat and concise and a great place to wrap things up. But then the book continues on for more than 3 more hours. Audiobook. To toss in unnecessary and predictable tropes and drag its way to an ending that just leaves you tapping your feet waiting for it to stop. I was reading this with a friend and I am dead serious, he thought the time remaining was glitched when it said there was an hour and a half still to go, because there was simply no way we still had an hour and a half left. It was not glitched. Brynne Weaver is really good at writing romantic and sexual tension, and she excels at it here as well. Her ability to take non-erotic acts and write them erotically is one of my favorite things about her work, and it shines here. The insulated relationship of these 2 characters is the shining point of the story. But unfortunately, this wasn't one where that's enough to prop up the entire book. It's unfortunately failed by the everything around that. And now, please enjoy a random sampling of the text messages I was sending in my buddy read after the 75% mark, where I felt the book should have ended. No spoilers. There's no reason to stretch this out another 3 hours. This should have just ended here with redacted for spoilers. 2.5 hours left. Great. Time for the most annoying trope. Okay, I guess we're doing that now. What are we doing? What's going on for the next 2 hours? Why is it taking so long? It's not a coincidence that the first book is the best one and also the shortest. Image of time remaining showing an hour and a half. How? A reply to the previous image. How has it only been 15 minutes since this? I wonder if there's some like author interview or something at the end. BC. How is it possible there's another hour of this? Note: there is not. LMAO. The rating has been steadily going down for the last 2 hours. What the fuck are we doing? Just end the book. It's done. GIF. Replying to the "there's no reason to stretch this out another 3 hours" message. This was 2 years ago. Jean-Marie, who has 51 likes, says, "This book was literally the missing piece to this trilogy. There were a couple of scenes where it all just clicks. This is a dark romance with a lot of funny scenes and ill love, a book that can make me laugh. Rose is such a badass character, and I loved that she stepped up for women who were in an abusive relationship. Brynne was a genius for putting a little of the Aqua Tofana story in there. If you're into murder mystery podcasts, Bailey Sarian explains a little more of this story. We got a little of Rowan's and Sloane's POV at the end of the book.